Welcome back to the POPcast. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, how are you, Speedy?
I'm chilling. Yeah, you?
Speedsta, I've got an AKA for you. Or it's about
What's it?
Chabupule, but Chabupule, one hour twin. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you are Chabupule, right?
What?
Ah, no.
Magangane, basically. How are you gentlemen doing? Has the weekend been good to you, Speedy? We see that you're back on TV. How was your first episode of Live Amp after taking a break?
Yeah, it was dope. It was really, really cool. New season, new energies. So yeah, it's exciting to be back. It's been a while. So I'm happy to be back in my routine because I used to have a routine. I'd know that Fridays I'm on TV, Saturdays I'm on radio, and then Sundays is where like my weekend kind of starts. So yeah, nice to be back in the routine. I'm glad I did the weekend like that. Sunday was hectic. And yeah, here we are.
What's the hectic part?
Yeah.
What's the hectic part?
I just watched like a lot of movies and it was just hectic, you know.
I saw that you weren't in the promo video. I think a lot of people were also questioning Guti how. Why is Lomise the only one in the promo? Where's Speedsta? What's going on? But obviously you were on the episode on Friday. What happened?
Yeah, the week they were shooting the TVC is the week I went to go test for COVID. So I was waiting for my results.
Okay, so you were just playing it safe.
Yes.
So you're
Bro,
responsible.
Can we talk about testing? Where did you go test, and what's the procedure? Because I just think we don't have enough information on that. I know a lot of people have gone, but I would just like a little bit more information shared on it. As also, I heard that some places they charge you for testing. Can you just elaborate on how your experience was?
I went to a testing station which was on top of the Benmore Gardens shopping center. It was very, very easy. I basically arrived there. It was a drive-through facility. I arrived there, I paid, and the paying process was a little bit complicated because you can either go to a doctor who kind of sends you like a referral letter, and it's kind of you appoint a doctor which will give you your results, right? So
Okay.
in my instance, I don't have a GP, so I was like, I don't have a GP, so they appointed a GP for me that would give me my results. I had to pay an extra $500, but very, very simple. You go there, you pay, they test you, they put this thing up your nose. It's not sore, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, they put it up your nose. You're done. You give it anything between 24 to I'd say 36 hours, and then yeah, you get your results. Very, very simple.
How much is it? You said you paid an additional $500 in total. How much was everything?
Everything in total must have been, I think it was $850 for the screening of the drive-through and everything, and then an extra $500. So I must have paid like 1,250 for everything.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the
And then
amount.
what happens is if you come back negative, you can go and claim back the $850 from your medical aid.
Okay. Okay,
But
cool.
even if you are
So if
positive,
you're positive, you don't get your money back.
I think you
No,
should get it back.
unfortunately
Hey,
not.
Bro, that's so tricky. I don't
That's
understand.
discrimination.
I mean, honestly, but I really feel like insurance is always trying to shy us. So clearly, they're finding loopholes where they can.
Any
Yeah,
GPs,
yeah.
any GPs within the chat, please hit up Speedsta, please.
Yeah, clearly he needs a GP.
Nah, I'm sorted now. I mean, I have a GP from when I was a kid, but I didn't feel like going all the way to the Val to get the test, you know? So I was just like, I don't have a GP.
Okay. Anyway, getting back into news and reviews and music. Obviously, this past week we saw the Summer 26 happening for the entire week from Monday to Friday. And those who were watching it on TV or watching it digitally, we saw all the results come through. Obviously, the coveted award that we care the most about was the best hip hop, which went to Younger Chief. Please say the Chief. So shout outs to Yanga. Of course, also best music video went through to AKA featuring Yanga. So that's another win with the Giga video. So shout outs. And of course, record of the year went to Black Diamond, which I think for me, I actually didn't expect, but I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I was happy about the fact that they took that award. They won it for Ipanoi. So we all know how big that song was. So how are you gentlemen feeling about the winners?
I really was obviously pleasantly surprised to find out that Yanga won, considering that we did speak on the show about the fact that a lot of people were speculating if it was eligible for his album to even be there, being that it was an EP. And yeah, I think he shocked everybody with that win. And he's having a nice little groove for himself and a double win with Uchika. So I was really, really happy about that. I do think that Black Diamond deserve some sort of recognition, some way, somehow. In a short space of time, they've been quietly really carving out their space in a very dope way. So I'm glad that they also won something. What I'm disappointed about, and it's something that we was alluded to in the group, is the fact that Elaine didn't take home anything.
I was also quite sad that Elaine didn't take Best R&B, because if you actually even check a lot of the digital streams, which is why I had this issue in the first place with the Salmas, is that Elaine is the most streamed female in South Africa right now. So if you check her stats with regards to where her career kind of stemmed from, was from a digital presence. So people were sharing her music on the internet and sharing her music on streams, and that's why she became so widely accepted. And it's quite sad that she didn't take it back. And some guy that hardly anybody knows, well, I don't know the guy, let me rather say that, I don't know the guy, but he won Best R&B. Some guy from Cape Town, I don't know, do you guys know him?
And Mazenam.
Maybe they'll listen to us. That's the emoji. We don't know. We don't have. But for Yanga, I say shout out as well. I did express that I was happy for him being nominated. And also for all those people who are quarreling about, hey, it's an EP. But if you actually think about it, there's a lot of albums that have also been released that didn't have that many tracks. And I went back to look at Becoming a Pop Star, and it's got 9 tracks on the album. And if you look at maybe say an album like Levels, only had 11 tracks, but that was considered a full body of work and an album and submitted for Best Hip Hop. So, I don't know, 2 songs shy, it's still pretty much a project and an album. Is it because they've just chosen to give it another name? I don't know, VG, maybe you can explain?
No. I think we did touch up on it before to say that if anything is available for purchase and sale, it is counted automatically as an album, a body of work, right? And I think right now we live in an era where dropping so many songs, guys. Personally, for me, I don't know if you go through an album that's got over 15 songs, because you probably don't remember half of them. That's how I feel sometimes. That's why there was a year when Kanye, was it 2 years back, when Kanye was dropping those 7 songs track. I remember that Daytona was my favorite hip hop album, without a doubt. Yeah, that was my favorite hip hop album without a doubt. And I pushed, like, it's one of those things where you like, Pusha T delivered. It's nice, sweet, short, and simple, But shout outs to Younger, without a doubt. It also, for me, what it's actually meaning, the game is changing, guys. I think the game is shifting, and that's something we have to be looking out for. I think
that's so dope, man. That's one of the cutest things that we get to have on this show, like involuntarily, like your kid just coming up. It gives us another type of touch. Like, shout outs to you and your kid. Organize those surprises even more.
Yeah. So, also touching on the base of Elaine, yes, Elaine had a great, successful year. I think it's the beginning for her, and maybe it's time, like we, as you're saying, Noni, that maybe we should have a wider view, a wider scope, or maybe they should share criterias with us, because I know it's not only digital focus, some of it is radio, and some of it is PR. People have to do this research behind this category. So maybe a criteria of some sort has to be shared amongst us so we know what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at Younger being mad. Younger winning. I thought that was really cool, and I also thought it was really cool that they won Best Video award for Jigga, because it is the first time that the Best Music Video category is in the Summers. So I got a
Best Video
press
has always
release.
been in the Summers.
No.
It has.
No.
Rouge's Summer Award is Best
Was the
Video.
Best Video. Yeah, she won it with that. Yeah, it's always been there.
so why did they sent out a press release. I got a press release from fifth season saying AKA makes history with Jigga music video being the very first time, the very first winner for that category in the summers.
No, they've had best videos since the summer started because music videos are part of music. So you can't not have that category because at the end of the day, it could be best video even for a gqom song, piano, gospel, traditional, mbaqanga, anything. So I don't think that was, I don't know, maybe that press release was just trying to hype up AKA, but I don't think it was
Ah.
meant. You know what I mean?
I think best video and best producer, like it's one of those. I think it's always been there, but I'll also double check my facts as well on my side.
No,
Yeah.
well,
Anyway,
yeah, okay.
but the one thing that I was a bit worried about was the PR that was around the summers. I don't think there was that much hype. I don't think people actually got to watch the summers. And normally the summers are something you look forward to. It's like you want to see the performances, you want to see what people are wearing. Of course, we're in a different, things are different now because it's not a live show anymore. But I just feel like the PR around it, I didn't see people like speaking about it, being excited about it.
Yeah, a
Second,
lot of people were confused. A lot of people were just like, the summers are on right now. So from that
Yeah.
perspective, you're right. Communication-wise, it was badly handled. And I also think it was also, especially if they're doing something as different as they've done it this year, where firstly, it was over 5 days. And secondly, there was a digital element to it because it can't be a live show. They really needed to work on the PR just a little bit more so people could tune in and get involved.
But also, it could be that the fact of they went on SABC, right? I think it was the first time in many years that the Summers went on SABC, because SABC is usually open rather to the masses. I think they were on DSTV right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe only a few people got to watch them as well.
No, but I don't even think it's got to do with that. For me, it's not even about the fact that they were on MultiChoice this time. It's not even about the fact that they were on SABC. My issue is from a PR perspective, and this is even going to the musicians themselves, because some of the people who were even nominated didn't know when they were happening. So regardless of having a decoder or maybe you're watching free TV, it has got nothing to do with how they communicate when it's happening. And that for me was the problem.
Maybe they're looking to improve it next year.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. But shout outs to Black Diamond, Record of the Year, Ipanoi. The boys need to get their love. A beautiful song, though. It's a very beautiful song. Speaking of music, speaking of albums, we also had a bit of a week where things are shaking up now. Last year, we all felt that hip-hop was taking a bit of a backseat, but this year, clearly, the albums are coming through thick and hard and fast. Obviously, we've got Any Minute Now by Cassper that's dropping in September. Nice DC also came through. Zulu Man with Some Power is going to be dropping real soon. I think AKA also mentioned that his album is on the way, but A-Reece finally resurfaced and he tweeted after so long, and we're like, yes, he's back in the conversation. I'm quite excited, I won't lie. Like, yes, I love the boys, I love everybody else who's going to be releasing, but because we've been so starved of music from A-Reece, I'm really, 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 really keen to see what he's going to give us.
Paradise 2.
I liked what he did with the visuals, with the mocking of Neo in the Matrix. I really liked the way they executed that, and obviously what it could symbolize, and also, yeah, man, I like the fact that everybody is releasing around the same time, because as much as it's all hip hop, it is competition at the end of the day. And it's a nice way for us to really see like what's going on and who's got which camp, who's got which pockets of society up in South Africa. And I'm glad that everybody hasn't shied away from it. Everybody's taking it on, and I think subconsciously everybody knows how big this period of music release is for a lot of people that are partaking in it. So I'm very interested to see how the masses are going to receive music being released. I think A-Reece's sabbatical from social media and tweeting and just his isolation from everybody while he was going through whatever he was going through, I think it's going to do wonders for him. judging by how people have responded, just by those small things that he's put out to the public. Obviously, saying that him and Mash Beats, is the record company combined? Is it him and Mash Beats?
I think so.
Right? It would make sense, right?
Mm.
And that's also nice, like, to see in this time, as much as it is difficult, a lot of people are using it to get their railways in line. If you look at what Emtee has been doing, you look at Java and Raf, and now you've got A-Reece and Mash Beats. Yes, it's been a tough time. Kudos to everybody that has managed to handle it. And it's also nice to see people putting on new ways, putting on new railroads to making sure the money comes straight to them. I really, really am excited.
Yeah. Oh, it's not that you mentioned Emtee. He's also going to be dropping in September. His album Logan's also dropping in September. So the music is coming. The music is coming.
I listened to the Sizwe had AKA as an interview as the guest on his show, and that's actually where he confirmed for the very first time that he's definitely dropping an album this year. Because a week later after that Kaya FM interview, I saw they went away on like a recording retreat into Norway. And normally when AKA takes those trips, you know that he's, going to go right and try get some new ideas with album music.
Yeah. He's definitely going to be dropping.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Scoop,
as well.
Scoop, you mentioned the whole Reece thing with the visuals, and I think if you remember, by most times, all those visuals came from the Reece effect where it had him, so it's always been the communication, that whole branding has always been about the Matrix living, you know what I mean? So that's one thing that I actually also loved about it. I was like, this dope. And he also kind of hinted at dates there, where it's like a newspaper article where it's got August. It was written the 10th of August. So people
11th.
11th. I think 10th, 11th. The fans thought actually the album was dropping on the 10th. But, obviously now they're like, ish, when is it dropping, etc. They don't know, But I think it's one of those that he teased that it's coming soon, guys. So it should be coming any minute from now. Cassper as well. I was in studio. I listened to some of the songs.
Sure.
Trust me. Like, when you walk out of place and you get goosebumps after playing two songs, he played me two songs and I got goosebumps, and I told him, I was like, yo, those songs are really important, you know what I mean, for me, and they really capture something, so I'm really looking forward to hearing the whole album. The AKA definitely, the Logan definitely, and also the Nasty C, it's one of those that it's that season, but I think we need to open it up. I think Youngster might be dropping as well. So I would wish, that's the thing, I want more people to drop. A Boyto could be dropping as well. So we need more influx, you know what I mean? And definitely from everyone, from all rounds, that people need to drop music, and SA Hip Hop just needs to support its own, and that will go back to the love of SA Hip Hop.
Definitely. I know somebody else who also spoke about possibly dropping soon. Rouge is also alluding to her album also being probably finished soon. I don't know if she's going to drop it this year or next year, but that's also going to come through at some point. Moosli's also in studio quite heavily. So it's nice to see that that artists are actually putting in the grind, and they're putting in a lot of work with regards to their music. What's exciting me the most is that I really feel as though the albums that are on the way are going to be a completely different sound for each of the artists, purely because they've all been through different types of spaces for them to be able to give us this different type of music. Obviously, looking at like Nasty's track list that he's put on pre-save, you see some of the features, the likes of Ari Lennox, and you're just like, yo, okay, this is going to be next level. Casper's obviously been tweeting about the people he's had in studio, the likes of Speedsta also being in studio with him, having Something Soweto. Those are the types of songs that I want to hear now, because I'm like, yo, okay, this is a different direction. What are we going to hear? Emtee obviously leaving Ambitious, so now we're going to get Emtee and his version of what he wants to release of his music. So for me, I'm just like, let's go,
I'm also with you there, Kazi. I really am excited just seeing the features. Zola also was in studio with Cassper. You know, I reiterate what you're saying when you say it's really a time where the albums might, it depends. I mean, we don't know. We're speculating where artists will release sounds that are very different and new to them. I think that it won't be as open to do that as now. If you look at everybody and the energy that's just been around and what's been happening in people's lives, be it people expecting kids coming into the world, or be it people losing their fathers or stepfathers. It's like really been a shifty time. VG, you also touched on the fact that things are changing. And I think the artist that gives into that change rather than holds on to the past will be the artists that are going to fare well going forward. But this is just my speculation, you know?
Yeah, one time. And you also mentioned how Cassper, obviously having lost his stepfather, so condolences to his family. But I saw a video where he actually said that his stepfather was being buried like a grave away from double HP, and it makes you think back. It's like these are the legends that we've kind of lost in our time. And then I thought back and I was like, wow, literally this past Saturday was 2 years ago when we had lost Pro Kid. And sitting back and I'm thinking like, wow, it's actually been that long now. Like life has kind of continued, but we don't want to kind of lose the memory of those people because they've impacted us in such a wild way as well. And it's nice to see that his ex-stablemates, MFE, have also produced a song, which is a testament to Pro Kid, or it was like a tribute to him. Captain, Red Button, SFS, as well as TP are on the tune. For me, I was just happy to hear SFS because I haven't heard him in a long time. I think the last time I heard a song from him was when he released with Dimples. I could have been off the radar with that one, but yeah, big ups to the boys for doing that for Pro.
Nice one.
Yes, indeed.
Speaking
All right,
of the day Pro Kid left us, how was your Women's Day?
Women's Day for me,
I saw the flowers, Noni.
Yes, I did. Thank you, gentlemen. So the boys sent me a bouquet of flowers, and they gave me a bit of a shout out, and they were like, yo, thank you for all that I do for the podcast. So I was like, oh, what a special moment. You guys actually know how to send flowers, imagine.
At least, you know, Noni, I can say I know. I know how to slide in the DMs, you know. So
that's enough flowers. The DM is enough.
But I was speaking of Women's Day. Obviously, it's a very powerful month for a lot of women. I know there's going to be a lot of female collaborations that are on the way with regards to taking advantage of Women's Month. The likes of, I know Muesli and Rouge are doing a song with Bass. What's his name again? Breeze, the Zulu bass king from Durban.
Yes.
So they're going to be releasing a tune. It's featuring Rouge, Muesli, and Tapsi. So look out for that. Lex LaFour has also got a brand new tune that she's releasing, which is also all female. And then Gigi is also on a song featured by Courtney Paul, featuring Boskatsi as well as Muesli. So the collaborations are coming through. And it's nice to kind of see the women are also taking advantage of Women's Month. I'm also going to be dropping a song soon, which is also female-based. So look out for that. It's coming. So August is just about...
You drop some music. It's been a while, huh?
No, we're getting a taste.
The last time I dropped a song was in 2018. I took a break last year because I was just dealing with some family situations, but the music is back. I'm working on a project as well, so the song is going to be dropping soon. I'm quite excited about it, and I think the message behind the song is also going to be really dope. So just listen out for it.
Nice.
So are we getting a taste of the song, Noni?
Vigi, you'll get a taste when the song is out. You'll hear it.
Okay.
Speedy, you said you're also going to be releasing soon, no?
Yeah, I'm releasing now, but I might pull it back. The thing is, I wake up one day I feel like releasing. I wake up the next day I don't feel like releasing. So we'll see. When is VG releasing again?
Is VG still a DJ? Let's ask him that first.
I'll release. You know what? Honestly, I've got some songs, but I'm not really happy with, because I think with me I have to shift the direction. You know, in terms of where I'm at right now. And in terms of my life, and as obviously we spoke about the music and where things have changed, and I think also with me the collabos that I'll probably get with in studio are the people that would know where my mind is at, you know, to say, yo, this is me right now. I'm not trying to chase being the kids, you know. I really have to
Yeah.
do something that's informative or to tell stories of where I've been or to kind of educate
Yeah.
the kids somewhere, somehow, you know, or get like minded kids who actually want to work. Because a lot of them sometimes don't want to work or they have their own thing saying, I'll give you a song. And I'm not about that life where tomorrow you're going to be tweeting me that I did you a favor. No, I'm not about that life. Um, anyway, going back to Women's Day, um, um, I spent the day with my woman and it was quite special. And it just had me thinking, we're discussing that, you know, at like 1956, you know, like 20,000 women was to Pretoria Valley, you know, handed in the, what is to call it back then?
Giving us the history. Bengayazi no yazi history.
Yeah, yeah, it was 20,000 women marched to the parliament, you know, obviously for
Oh,
equality
union
measure.
buildings, union
Union
buildings.
buildings, yeah, you know, and you know, like you fast forward till now, and I was just saying to her, yo, it's so crazy how women are still not equal. It's
Mm.
really crazy to the mindset of saying, when are we as men gonna change, you know? And you know, the first thing was like, yo, you need to change yourself as a man first, you know. And it just had me thinking. I was like, wow, it goes back to everything that we were saying, and I think it's gonna start with us because I saw Lerato Sankhadi's message, you know, to saying that Happy Women's Day, but yo, men, please help us change. You guys need to change. And I was like, yo, we actually need to change. We actually need to be the standing point and protect our women and stand for them and say we are equal, guys,
Yes.
regardless.
100%.
I
Yeah.
think that's always been the fight for women with regards to any type of space that they find themselves in, whether it be music, whether it be corporate, whether it be just even a household, and being in the household and having a voice within the household. That's always just been the fight that women have had to have. And we fight for equality and we fight for certain things, but there's always this thing with Yoguti, we need to kind of be submissive in a certain space.
Mm.
So within speaking to that, obviously we are in a newer time and a newer generation, being 2020, but obviously history has kind of influenced all of us in a certain way. So I wanted to find out from you guys, within celebrating Women's Day, who are the types of women that have influenced you to become the person that you are and for you to respect women the way that you do?
My mom, definitely my
Sure.
mom,
How?
because my mom was a kind of a parent that was like, I was a sporting kid. And as much as I always would have wished for my dad to have been there at all the sporting events that I did and stuff, unfortunately he wasn't there, but my mom was there, you know.
She was your number
Um,
one fan, Speedy.
yeah, so she definitely, like, you know, taught me a lot of life lessons. And I remember, like, every time I was doing especially athletics, you know, I wanted to make her proud because of how strong she was, you know, because I know at the time I was really young. My brother was already studying in Johannesburg, and my parents were going through the utmost, you know.
Mm.
And just being in there as a kid, not really being able to do much about it, but seeing her cry, but also seeing her kind of, you know, being strong out of hectic situations. I think that's definitely like the person I would say is my idol, my mother. Yeah.
That's one, Speedy.
Scoop?
As well, I think my mother as a foundation and my sisters. I grew up with like three older sisters that really molded me into being the man that I am. They influenced everything from my clothing choices to my television and content choices and my music choices. And then my grandmother as well. Before I moved with my family and lived with them, Emaklagi, I used to live with my grandmother, and she's the one that raised me, like from a very early age to, I'll say, about 7 or 8 years old. And then another lady that I will not forget that also had a big role to play in my life was my teacher. It's my grade 7 teacher, standard 5 for all the old heads out there. And her name is Mrs. Hafke. And you know, there was a time when I was going through a lot of problems as well at home, and she noticed me having a dip in my schoolwork because she used to teach me English and poetry. And I used to do very well in her classes. And then she really noticed me dipping in school. And then she asked me, like, yo, like, what's the problem? And it was my first time opening up to what I was going through to a stranger. And this lady took me in. She also had like 3 sons. She took me in. I lived with her for like 2 years. I got hand-me-down clothes from her sons, and I lived with her for like a proper 2 years. And she taught me a lot based on obviously her Christian and religious background. But I was able to build on that and really find just a solid place to be in my pivotal teenage years. She's no longer on this earth, but I really think about her, and my life would have been different if she wasn't around. And she was a colored lady, you know, she wasn't black. She was a colored lady who took the time of inviting a new culture and a new kid into her family surrounding. That was big, and it really did change my life.
100%. Vigi?
You're lonely. I think everyone raised developed people in their lives. So it goes back to my grandmother. I was raised by my grandmother, but I also had cousins that were living with me, that used to probably go to sports days with me. Then I also had a teacher, by the way, school as well. Stacy Canavas. So she had a younger brother who was adopted. And I used to go spend most of the weekends, like
Stacey,
twice
she
a
sound
month.
white though.
Yeah, she's Stacy Canavas. She's Greek. That's why I also know a bit of Greek. I can say Yasu Dikanis. Yeah. They are family, like they are real family. So they also played a major influence into my life. My mother as well, and also I could say my mother-in-law as well, and my wife's aunts. You know, they're very impactful women in our lives. You know, and I think most importantly for me, I'm gonna shy away from everyone. My wife currently and has played the most role in my life, because she's changed the person that I am, regardless of what I used to be in my past life. But she's just
Yeah.
changed me to know what love is, you know. And I'm a firm believer that once you get married, you have to start your own life on yourself, you know. So
Mm.
that person that you shared with, is that's your wife, that's your life. So even my mom knows that, like, yo, it's not about me anymore. It's about your wife. It's you and your wife first, because a lot of people with marital problems that come by families that would say, but I'm from the family. Luckily, I'm from the family that say, yo, it's you and your wife. You guys need to sort it out first before coming to us. So yeah, that's it. And you, Miss Cosmo,
May
as
I
well.
also add on that? I think
Yeah.
VG, like as a married man, you've opened me up to like talking about my other half. You know,
Hey, my daughter. Yes,
yeah,
Kobe.
you know what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a married dude, you know, I never used to think that I'd be that kind of guy that would like to settle down. I also come from, I mean, I speak about it all the time with the hip hop background and the hip hop like sort of influence, the way we used to think about ladies, and what was always said to us about women was very opposite of what I think and live right now. But I really wanna say thank you to my lady Akona, because she's also really transformed me. And as a man, it's very difficult sometimes to grow in certain areas if you don't have a woman there for you and with you. There's
Yes,
just
sir.
certain things and certain ways of growing up and being an adult
Yes,
that
sir.
comes naturally to women, because they obviously are they're the ones that look after families. It's in their genetic coding. So as a dude, it's really easy to be selfish. It's really easy to be stubborn. It's really easy to be hard-headed. It's really easy to think you're right all the time. And if anything, in dealing with a woman that matches my energy and kind of inspires me, it's learned and taught me how to be able to step down, how to be able to tone down, how to be able to allow someone else to take the lead and allow someone else to 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 sort of just control things in a way that you know you are not gifted in, but it also makes you stronger. It's just allowed me to be able to relinquish control. And it's not something that's easy as a black guy, because as a black guy, when you come up young, all you really know is the world is against you. You got to be in control of all situations, you know? So it's dope, man. It's dope. And also relinquish it to a black woman. It's great.
And shout outs to your woman as well. I saw she's doing some campaign with a hair product. Is it Dark and like Lovely or something? I saw her on like a TV ad. Scoop.
She had a Dark and Lovely contract, which I think has expired now. So I'm just saying that's.
Oh no! I was just giving her a shout out because I had only seen the advert this past weekend. So I noticed her on it and I was like, hey, that's Scoop's girl, shout out, because obviously she kind of grew her following on social media by doing the whole natural hair journey situation, and it's dope that a brand kind of saw that and recognized her for that. So I think that was really awesome. With regards
I never thought I'd say this, but I can't wait. I never wanted to get married. I never wanted to have someone have my surname. I never wanted to go that far into things because I just felt like I never wanted someone to be so dependent on me and so dependent on whether I make good decisions or not. It's something that I wanted to run away from. To just always, if I disappoint myself, I'm fine. But I didn't want to disappoint someone else. And that's also just growing up, But right now, I cannot wait to have her have my surname. I cannot wait because of the cultural implications that I now understand. I used to be so stupid in saying, no, I want to live with a girl, live in a separate place. She must stay next door to me. I had these stupid rules to just live, to continue living the way I wanted to live. Never wanted to sacrifice anything. Never wanted to give up anything. And like now that I understand the cultural implications of going to Yoktela Umfazi, having families and ancestors on a spiritual level meet, taking surnames on, and infusing this person with life. Yo, VG, you've worked, my dude. I got mad.
Shout out, my G. Uspize, Speedsta now will be there. Let's say, the bike, so keep it full of lomo, Tina. I know Lesego will be the first one to open Fulam Lobo. I know. He'll be like, wow, let's start off with Jaegers. We can start off with the shots. With tequila.
Let's give Lesego his time.
I'm in that phase that Scoop's talking about where I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't... I'm still very much doing whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't want to explain. I don't want to answer to anybody. And I guess I just used to... The one thing that I love women, but the one thing that I hated always about the relationship was that awkward silence. Have you seen when you fight with your partner in the car and you have 2 hours to go, but no one is speaking to nobody? I used to hate that thing. I really used to hate it. It used to make me feel not nice, so I'm very much where you were a couple of years ago.
And I think it's good. Sorry, Cosmo, you can go ahead.
I was about to say, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with going through a phase where you don't want to be in a relationship. I'm glad that you are honest enough to say that you're not in a space to do that to somebody, because the worst part would be for you to still kind of drag somebody along through this phase that you're in, because then you literally are wasting their time. Whereas you can just do whatever you want. You're not accountable to anybody. And Scoop, as much as you had mentioned that you had all these weird ideals that you wanted to live by because you didn't want to disappoint anybody. And I think those are the things, that's the male privilege. That's the toxicity that kind of infiltrates society, where women now feel as though we're always the ones kind of giving, but we're not receiving. And sometimes it is life that has to happen for you to then kind of learn differently, to say, hey, actually, it's actually dope for me to be able to share a portion of myself with another person. And you've learned that, obviously, having been through life, and now you've changed your perception. And I think that's all women are trying to do within Women's Month. It's not necessarily to say that you can't have an opinion, but you also need to understand another person's point of view so that you can be inclusive of that person's point of view. Do you understand?
Showcase. And more than anything, I just realized, everything that I'm getting in my relationship is it's really coming from someone else, of course, because you have a partner. But I'm realizing that you get a partner to give you the things that you give yourself first. You know, like as much as there is this other person there, it would never work if I wasn't able to love myself. I've made a lot of changes to because we always say we love ourselves, but we make so many decisions that say the opposite. So when I decided that, okay, I know I love myself, but I really want to show myself that I love myself. And with doing those things and showing myself that I love myself, in came this other person who was like, yo, I like the way you love yourself, and I just want to add on to that. And because now I know how to love myself, I can then love this other person so easy. And, you know, you go through those fighting periods, Speedsta, and there's no remedy for it. It's just you realize, like, shit, there could be a lot of fights. I could fight with a lot of people, but I will not be able to fight with anybody the way I fight with this person.
The most important thing I want to say, when two people get into fights, it's always a sign of love, where someone is trying to correct you to something. You know what I mean? So regardless of whatever, you do know. And tomorrow, and Speedsta, yes, it is true, the awkward silence, whatever. But it's one of those things that tomorrow you will fix yourself up and become a better person.
For sure.
1000%. The women that have actually influenced my life and raised me to be the person that I am and being so strong and steadfast in my ways have definitely been my mom. I think she has been one person who's always learned how to show compassion, but also be able to fight for what you believe in. Because I think my mom had also kind of went through a lot of stuff with regards to her relationship with my father, and then obviously going through a divorce, having to, you know, raise two children on her own was just an experience that she had to go through alone. And obviously my growing up and learning those things from her are testament to why I've chosen to be the strong person and do things in a certain way. But also given that to her sisters as well. My mom comes from a very big family where she's got 5 sisters and 1 brother. So all those women also kind of played a part in that, as well as my grandmother, who I feel is my guardian angel and always got my side with whatever I need to do. You know, sometimes you have those days where you feel like you've got a blessing, but you don't know where it comes from. I really, like, back of my mind, believe that, no, my grandmother's always looking out for me 100%. So I got to give my love to my guardian angel. But it's dope to kind of always look back and say, as much as we live in this world where women feel as though they need to fight for recognition, everybody's got a woman in their life that has changed them or changed some sort of perception in their lives. And I think that's what we need to also kind of zero in on and say, but you wouldn't want a specific thing to happen to that woman who's changed your life. So make sure you protect her so that everybody feels safer in this environment, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
I like the direction that this is headed to.
100%.
It's gotten real sentimental and very personal.
Yes. I like the fact that you guys are also sharing, you know? Normally you guys are, you know, you don't want to give more of yourselves, but besides the DMs, hey, Speedy?
No, not really. I'm chilled. I'm very chilled, you know. I love being alone more than anything. So, yeah.
I also wanted to shout out to the fact that I noticed that we're all actually wearing like locally produced gear today. I see Vigi's got his escorts sweater on there. Scoop, you're wearing something from Swenka as usual.
Yes, ma'am.
Always representing the brothers.
Little cozy, comfy hoodie over here. Gosh, damn it!
I'm wearing a Vans. That's not local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying, bro?
I said I'm wearing Vans, which isn't local.
I got always wear local.
Yeah,
you always wear local, my dude.
I got the sweater from these kids from Cape Town called Cool Kids Corruption. They're from Cape Town. They sent me the sweater, and I thought it was dope because I had interviewed them when I did that sneaker exchange takeover of their Instagram. And since then, I've been following them, and I like the gear that they're putting together. So they sent me the sweater. So I just wanted to give them a bit of a shout out. And it's awesome as well because they've got like a whole bunch of African.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's dope.
I love that.
Can they make one for the podcast?
I can ask them to. They can definitely make them and they'll send them through to us. And I think it's also important, especially with the week that we've just gone through as well with Zimbabweans Life Matters. So I like that they had all of these flags on here. So I wanted to wear this also just to show solidarity to the Zimbabweans out there, because hey, they're going through the most right now. And as South Africans, we've been there before, so we just wanted to. Well, I wanted to kind of reach out and show some love as well.
Yeah.
So much happening.
Can I touch on something before we exit quickly?
Yes.
I had a phone call with Dimitri, and we're talking about something that's been happening and what's happening around, and he just mentioned to me that Vigi, in a few weeks time, I won't have a place to live. So it's one of those for artists, guys. Please look after yourself and do everything by all means. And for him, it's like asking for advice. How do we move? How do we do? And he's a very smart individual. So I guess, guys, let's all support each other. Let's all be there. Let's not make stupid decisions to do whatever, but just be there to support each other and be honest. That's one thing I wanted to say to everyone.
Is this in relation to the work, people being alleviated from work during COVID?
Yeah. Obviously, with us with entertainment, because this is the only life that they have. It's gigging. It's getting shows and it's brands. Because now alcohol is closed, so there isn't enough brands. This is that. There isn't enough money income that's coming in.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared, man. I pray every day. Every day I pray, but I'm shook, my nigga, to the point where I also didn't even want to be on the show today. Like, it was like, what are we doing? Like, are we going to discuss people losing their jobs on the show? Like, and then it happens to one of us, and then what, what are we discussing on the show? Like, it just, again, I think when quarantine started, I did have this uncertainty about the situation and myself and my role, and it kind of subsided, and it was back again today, where I've spent the whole day really just realizing that I'm at the mercy of whomever is looking after me. And I pray every day that I can maintain, because it could be you at any given point. People are losing their jobs left, right, and center. And you just ask yourself, when is your turn coming? And if it's coming.
Yeah, we're living in tough times at the moment. We're living in very uncertain times. But Vigi's right. I think what we need to do also is just to kind of give a helping hand to those artists who we feel that can get some sort of comfort, even if it's just a phone call. Sometimes you can't lend a hand financially, but just the emotional support, I think, also kind of goes a long way. So let's be there for each other. But I do think we have wrapped the episode for today. Please do join us again next week. Subscribe and join us for POPcast again. And hopefully this lockdown's going to end soon, because this Zoom thing, I don't know. But, we'll talk about that on another day.
Sure.
Nice one, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.